Okay, Mr. Swanson, what is normal behavior to you?
Normal behavior. I think normal behavior is what most people do. You know, like when you greet someone, you shake their hand, you look them in the eye, and you say, hello.
Okay. What is abnormal behavior?
Abnormal behavior. So that's like what most people like don't do, you know, like if you were greeting someone in the morning, if instead of like shaking their hand, you like offered them your foot, you know?
Yes.
Like you kicked them or something, or you put your foot where your hand would be, you know?
Exactly.
That would be pretty weird. You know? That would be abnormal.
Who should decide what normal and abnormal behavior is and why?
That's I don't really think it's like one person that kind of decides it, but you know, like there's trends, you know, like what people wear and like what people believe. I think the media is like a big influence on like what people believe is normal. So like songs and clothing and like celebrities and stuff like that.
Well,
Thank
Madison, what do you think is normal behavior?
I think normal behavior is any sort of behavior that is normal to the individual, not necessarily by society because there's different cultures, but whatever that person routinely does.
Can you provide an example?
Like going to school and eating dinner with your family, that's normal behavior in American society, but it might not be in other societies.
Well, the next question is, what is abnormal behavior?
Abnormal behavior is, I guess, the opposite. Anything that's not within the norms of that person, like getting up in the middle of class and screaming. Like, that's not normal behavior for anyone other than Alejandro Palacio. So, it's normal to that individual.
Okay, and the last question is, who should decide what normal and abnormal behavior is and why?
I don't think anybody should really have the right to decide because everybody has different behavior. But if anyone, right now, if anyone does decide, it's definitely society because it's the values and the morals that are on all of us.
Are there common
Thank you.
themes in the
Thank you.
responses?
Both Madison and Mr. Swanson have the same theme in the last response. They say that society is the one that chooses what's abnormal and normal. They blame it on media and trends. And for the first and second answer, they both give similar examples of things that we do every day. For example, going to class or handshaking and different.
Responses you agree with? Why?
I agree with all the responses because that is what I think about being normal and abnormal. Like shaking hands is a normal behavior example, and something that would not be normal is giving your foot instead of your hand in a salute.
Responses you disagree with? Why?
Neither of us disagree with any of the responses since puta Juan
Examples
is a
of normal
fucking
and
imbécil.
abnormal behavior would you add to what your interviewers provided?
An example of normal behavior would be having friends and getting along with them, sharing time with them, and having a good time with them. And another example of abnormal behavior could be being an antisocial person, not having any friends, not having a healthy relationship with your family because you want to, not because.
Who should
that's-
decide what normal and abnormal behavior is?
I think society, our culture, the media, and our religion is what decides what normal and abnormal behavior is. And that varies depending on where you live and the culture you have and everything.